Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. And for those of you who are new, my name is Joshua. And it's been almost 2 years since I had my gynecomastia surgery. And to this day, I still get questions on my comments, my Instagram DMs, and emails about the surgery for those of you who are looking to get the surgery or other ways to get rid of gynecomastia. So I literally took screenshots of a ton of different questions about gynecomastia that I thought were good, and I figured I would make a quick gynecomastia surgery Q&A video. And first off, I know a lot of your questions for this video will be, what does my chest look like now? So here's a photo of it really quick. Now I know I'm not showing you my actual chest in real person on the video, but I do plan on doing a 2-year after surgery video update. And at that time, I'll show you what my chest looks like in both the front and the side, basically almost a 360 of my chest in that video. Also, there's really no order to these questions. I'm literally gonna go just like straight through each question and basically answer them as I read them. Hi, your video is really helpful. Can you please tell me the full cost of your surgery? $8,000. Are you grade 1, 2, or 3? If you do not know what grades are for gynecomastia, I really recommend you look that up. It can help you better understand gynecomastia, which can help you better understand why your surgery may cost what it costs and just why your gynecomastia is the way it is. So there's a grade 1, there's a grade 2, like a grade 2 and a 2B, and then a grade 3. 1 being like the least, and then 3 being the worst. I was a 2B, so typically how this works, like I'll dumb it down and I'm probably not getting it completely correct, but my understanding is that like the difference between a 2 and a 2B is like the 2 is like a really pronounced gland, but it doesn't affect anything outside of the areola or the nipple. And then a 2B is a really pronounced gland, but it also affects areas outside of the area or nipple, so more of the chest. So that's where, like I said, I had gynecomastia, so I had the gland, and then I also had a pseudogynecomastia. So the gyno wasn't just affecting like just the nipple, it was also affecting the area around it, which is why the surgeon chose to do a gland removal and liposuction. All right, another question, are the scars still gonna be visible after full recovery? The short answer is yes, maybe. For me, the scars are still visible. This is also partly how you heal and how your body handles incisions or cuts. You know pretty well on your own body if you get a cut, how scars kind of are handled or how the cut heals on your body. But because this is a pretty heavy incision and you're actually having your skin cut open, there's a good chance the scar will be visible, but it's very minimal. I've said this before in a lot of my gynecomastia recovery videos, that the scar is so minimal that you would almost have to be like up on my chest in an awkward way to realize that there's actually a scar under the nipple. Now the lipo scars, yeah, those are a little more obvious because they're kind of just like sitting out on the chest. I have a ton of acne scarring on my chest anyways. So for me, I'm kind of lucky, I guess, if you want to call it that the scars kind of just blend into that scarring that I already have. So, hey. All right, next question. Did you wear the vest 24/7 for 6 weeks, or did you take it off during nighttime? So yes, I did wear the vest pretty much 24/7. I did not take it off at night at all. The only time I took it off was when I showered or to wash the vest. So I washed it once or twice a week after the first week. So the first week I wore it 24/7, didn't do anything. Even when I showered with the vest on. And then after that first week, I would take the vest off and shower and then put it immediately back on after I dried. And then every so often, like I said, like once or twice a week, I would literally sit on the couch and have my wife go and put it in the wash and dryer, and then she would bring it and then help me put it back on. And so I pretty much wore it 24/7. Like I said, I wore it to sleep, wore it all day. The only time was for showering and then for washing and drying. All right, next question. Is the swelling normal? It's been 2 weeks, but my chest is still really swollen. Look like I have boobs now. So I already answered this, but once again, if you have where it looks like your chest is larger, you probably have a hematoma or a seroma, and you should definitely get that immediately checked out because you need to get that drained and get that fluid out of your chest. Your swelling should be pretty minimal. It also does depend on obviously how invasive it is. If you have like a crazy grade 3 where they have to like cut your chest wide open, then yeah, you may have more major swelling than like I did. But for most people, you're probably a 1, a 2, or a 2B, and your swelling is gonna be pretty minimal. So if you do have any crazy swelling and it's weeks out, go get that checked immediately. All right, so this is another question that I actually got a ton of questions on, and that's partly because I know even for me, working out and trying to fix your chest is like a huge thing. So how long did you have to wait before going to the gym again? So I waited 6 to 8 weeks before I went to the gym. And then even when I went to the gym, I was really light and basically kind of like brought myself back into lifting heavier weights, just because one, I hadn't worked out in forever already, and then I felt pretty weak after the surgery. This will vary. Your surgeon will tell you what you should and should not do, or what you can and cannot lift, and what time frame they kind of want you to be under. Now, the reason the surgeon's gonna do this is because obviously they're the ones who cut open your chest. They're the ones who are most knowledgeable about your situation. So just because mine was 6 to 8 weeks doesn't mean you might not be back in the gym in 3 weeks. You might not be back in the gym till longer. You should really trust your surgeon. And if you don't know, reach out to them and ask them what they think is a good recommendation for you getting back in the gym and working out. All right, so the next question, what is the shower process like in terms of the compression vest? Do you leave it on? So like I said, in the first week, I left it on. The surgeon did have a paper that they sent me home with that said after 72 hours, you could take the vest off and shower without it. I kind of had this like panic of like, I didn't want to do that. I was going in for my first checkup after 1 week. So I kept the vest on, even though it said the 72 hours, just because I wanted to wait till the surgeon saw my chest for the first time before I felt comfortable with taking it off. At that 1 week, he told me that I could definitely shower without it. And so then even when I did shower, what I would do is basically stand with my back against the water, and then I would hold my hand over the tape. So I had tape on the underside of my chest, basically covering the stitching for the scars. If you look back on some of my first videos for the gynecomastia recovery, you'll see that tape. So to help it from not falling off, because it was basically supposed to stay on for the 6 weeks, I would just cover my chest with my hands and then slowly back into the water, let it run over, and then get back out. So I never really left my chest submerged in the water for the 6 weeks that I wore the vest, while I had the stitches still in and I had the tape on my chest. All right, so the next question, is it normal to feel swelling and pain a day after the surgery? The answer is yes. It's pretty normal to feel pain and swelling a day after you just had your chest cut open and maybe a lipo stick or whatever just like shoved all in your chest. You're gonna feel pain. There will be minimal swelling. Like I've said before, and I wanna emphasize pretty much heavily, is the fact that there will be swelling, there will be pain, but if there's any major swelling or pain weeks out, contact your surgeon or contact like an emergency room or a general physician who can look at you and make sure that there isn't anything wrong and they don't need to drain or remove anything. All right, next question. How about the pain around your nipple and also right after, a few days after the surgery, were you able to see your nipple? So like I said, I didn't remove the vest for a week, so I wasn't able to see my nipple actually until my surgeon removed it that 1 week. And then yes, I could see my nipple, but I couldn't see all of it because like I said, there was that tape that was underneath. So like there was always this curiosity of like, is my nipple only flat because the tape's holding it down? Like I was so worried that the surgery wasn't gonna work like it wanted to, because you know, gynecomastia messes with your head. There was pain around my nipple. Like I said, I didn't really put much effort or like try to be lifting anything or like moving super fast. So the pain was minimal. And then also your surgeon typically gives you some pretty heavy pain relievers with some more moderate pain relievers for later on in the recovery process. And so I was pretty regimentally taking that to make sure that I was never dealing with pain or too much pain that became unbearable. All right, so this is another one that I actually did a video on and have had a lot of people mention, which I knew and my surgeon knew from the beginning. Looks like your left nipple is lower than your right nipple. Did it ever balance out or did it remain the same? So yes, my left nipple or the left side of my chest is actually lower or slash smaller than my right side. So when I went in to get my first consultation, my surgeon was feeling my chest and feeling the glands, kind of figuring out where he would remove from and all of that. He actually said, your left side of your chest actually feels underdeveloped from your right. And he said, do you work out and like, do you do bilateral movements or whatever, a lot of like bench press and stuff like that? And I said, yeah. And he said, yeah, you definitely need to build up the left side of your chest. So when I had the surgery, it obviously makes the left side of my chest look smaller, or it makes my nipple look like it kind of dips. And so that hasn't really been fixed, partly because of COVID and all the gyms closing. So I was really focusing on trying to fix that. And I felt like I was getting good progress, and then all the gyms closed, and I haven't really been able to get in the gym till more recently. So I'm starting that whole process again of trying to fix it with a lot of unilateral movements. I did a whole video on how to fix an uneven chest, and basically the workouts I've been doing to fix my chest, which is uneven due to not really the surgery or anything wrong with the recovery, but more just the fact that I never really focused on unilateral movements when I worked out in the past. All right, next question. I am 15 years old. Should I do the surgery or wait till I'm 18? So as you saw, I showed that picture of me at like 12 or 13 years old when gynecomastia first started. And even to this day, I would have not recommended that I get the surgery until I was at least 18. And the reason I say that is twofold. So first, you're really young, and there's a chance that the gynecomastia may actually go away just because it's a thing of puberty, and you might have some puffy nipples while you're in puberty, but then it kind of goes away as you reach more into adulthood. And secondly, again, you're really young, and that's a really big thing to go through with that surgery. And I would recommend waiting till you're 18, waiting till your body's a little older and you've matured a little more before you have such an invasive surgery to get those glands removed if you truly do have gynecomastia. And the last and final question, did you have to limit your water intake for a couple weeks or no? And so this is kind of similar to that whole like, can you consume whey protein after? I didn't limit any water intake. I mean, before you go into surgery, you have to not eat like 24 hours before or something like that. But there was nothing about water intake that I really had to worry about before or after the surgery. It actually is probably beneficial to up your water intake during the recovery process, because one, it'll help you not be so hungry to like snack and stuff like that. And then it's also good to stay hydrated while your body's trying to heal itself. And so that is it for my gynecomastia surgery Q&A video. I hope you guys found this video helpful and informational. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button. Leave a comment letting me know if you're getting the surgery or have had the surgery and have any questions at all. And as always, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can get updates on when I'm uploading my next video. Thanks for watching.